I read your article in Progressive on the Arkansas tax deal, and my question to you is kind of a follow-up to hers. Are you going to be like Chris Christie and them that tell these state employees that you have to cut out a job or teachers, or are you going to be tough enough to do that?
Well, I think you'd have to look at my history in business. The folks that have worked for me know that I'm kind of a tough taskmaster, but I'm also very fair. And I don't expect things from people that are inappropriate, but I do expect them to work hard and to do their job correctly and to do it with a smile on their face. And that's in a variety of different industries that I've been an employer. And so the answer is yes. But it goes back to management. It goes back to introducing good management techniques into the governmental process where you approach your department heads and make sure that they understand unequivocally what your expectations are so that you can make the appropriate cuts where needed, but more importantly, you make sure that there's kind of a new mindset, if you will, in each of those departments to get the very best out of every person. And so it's, my wife says I'm a great motivator. I hope I am, in terms of setting an example for people. There's not going to be anybody in this state that works harder than I do. I'm not going to be out on the golf course. I'm going to be out there working hard every day. Leading by example.
To follow up a little bit here with what she was talking about, with the efficiencies within government. You spoke a little bit about unemployment being around 78, 79% here. You talked about improving the efficiency of the governmental procedures within the state government. Now, during any time in business we improve efficiencies, head counts come up anytime you speak about labor issues. With what your plan moving forward, will you have or introduce some type of a job placement or training program for these people that do not meet the efficiency criteria of the different departments?
Well, again, one of the things you have to do is have an effective workforce training program. You have to equip people with the literacy skills that they need to be employed. You know, all of those issues. What I'm talking about, oftentimes, even through attrition, you're able to cut the size of government. As an example, in Vermont, their state expenditures now are approximately 8% less than they used to be. A lot of that is because of this good government management practices that have to do with when somebody decides to leave, you look very closely at whether that person needs to be replaced. So you don't have to do it by firing people necessarily. You do it through good practices that you would do in the private sector. But yes, if somebody loses their job and it's through no fault of their own, then I think you have an obligation to try to help them find a job or to equip them with the skills that they need. But it's also up to them to take the initiative to go out and look for a job and to be willing to go to that training if you provide it.
Here, and we'll go back here.
I have a question regarding school vouchers. Now, we have a Christian Academy, 21 years old, and the literacy rate in our district is very low. I'm concerned about giving the children a chance and parents a choice. Now, the people that come to our school, they pay taxes and then they pay tuition. So it's like double taxes to get their children educated in an environment that the dropout rate is very high in some schools, but in our school, the continuing on to get their high school diploma is very high. What is your view on school vouchers?
I'll tell you the same thing that I told the AAA. I don't say one thing to one group of people and a whole different message to another group of people. So I had my interview with the AAA between 10 and 11 o'clock on a Friday night, and they had 15 questions that they proposed, as I recall, and I disagree with them on about 5 of those issues. One of them was vouchers in charter schools. I think that we need to look at every available vehicle that's out there to make sure that every child gets the best possible education that they can get. And I think that charter schools can inject good competition and good learning practices that can help our public education as well. We simply have to look at every available mechanism that we have available to us to improve education for our kids. So I'm for.
Now, charter schools, one thing, what about private schools and school vouchers? Would you be willing to go as far as private school and school vouchers? And the reason why I'm asking that question is when it comes to this racial issue, I'm concerned that people don't want certain children to get vouchers because they can go to any school of their choice. And I believe that's an issue of the heart that we as Republicans got to deal with, that we don't want certain black children in certain private schools. So if that voucher is available, these children can go and get educated anywhere they choose to go.
First of all, many of the private schools already have scholarship programs, where they try to invite minorities into their schools already, which I applaud. I don't know, I need to think that through, to be honest with you. I haven't thought of the economic implications for the school system, because you don't want to have a resource drain away from public education that exacerbates the problem, so I don't know. I need to think about that. It's a great question, I just, I don't know the answer to it.